Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today. Really strange segment today. Well, we'll get into it. This information was reported by Bob Rubin at the Daily Caller, and he contributed to this, so we're giving him props. The recent revelation from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, that it had to revise U.S. employment figures downward by a staggering 818,000 jobs for the last fiscal year, has left many Americans questioning the competence and honesty of their government.
It's definitely, this American is definitely questioning that. That's a huge number.
Huge number.
I mean, that means multiple months that they've come out with projections have been flat out wrong.
Yeah.
Lies. Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How could this happen? Is this DIE incompetence, diversity, inclusion, and equity incompetence, or intentional? Inquiring minds want to know. This revision, which covers the 12 months ending in March 2024, is one of the largest since the 2008 financial crisis. With the 2024 election season in full swing, this news is likely to have far-reaching political and economic implications, particularly for Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign, right? Because she's part of it, 3.5 years.
Let's hope so.
And the Federal Reserve's upcoming policy decisions. Let that sink in.
Yeah, and again, is there going to be anybody held accountable for this bumble? I mean,
you mean like Afghanistan too?
No, whatever.
Nobody.
I mean, any of these issues are just nobody's held accountable. So this massive revision calls into question the federal government's ability to manage basic functions, such as accurately tracking employment data. That should be pretty easy, right? That should be pretty easy.
That's an indicator for a lot of things,
Exactly. I mean, big economy indicator, right?
Yeah,
big. The public's trust in the federal government is already low, so this doesn't help at all to inspire any confidence. Employment statistics are just numbers, right? But they inform key economic policies and decisions that affect millions of Americans.
Yeah.
The fact that the government could be so far off the mark by more than 800,000, that's a huge number. Huge. Is just a stark reminder of the potential DIE incompetence lurking within the Biden-Harris idiocracy and the deep state. If the idiocracy can't handle something as fundamental as employment figures, sorry.
Maybe unemployment too.
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess. It is fair to ask whether it is capable of managing more complex systems like healthcare. Education's a big one for me. Get rid of that DOE and the Department of and the economy. So it just, I don't know. It's crazy. When are we going to get some honest information?
It's been what I think this, we were talking about this before. What I think is that an agency, a reporter, whatever, reports something, and then the higher ups say, "Oh, it's been reported that da." They plausible deniability. They'll deny that they had a finger in it.
So we got no checks and balances. They can say whatever they want.
They've got the media on their sides.
They say whatever they want, and it's out there. And there's enough people that we were talking about that before we went on. There's enough people out there that believe whatever comes out of their mouths or whatever comes out in print. It's just
that's part of the reason why we do these podcasts is we try to be unbiased. But we're pointing. Well, how often do we point out Republicans? We point out Democrats.
We have.
But it seems like it's slanted towards Democrats.
Well, I'm not saying that. Believe me, the Congress. I'm not a big fan of Congress. I think I mentioned it. I think Congress should be part-time legislature. There's other places that have that.
Limits. Yeah.
But there's so much corruption and so much graft whenever they get there that just and then after they leave, what do they become? Lobbyists. It just, I don't know. It's out of control. There needs to be some kind of revision. So, we have the best government on the planet, but the people involved in it are just, they're a little crooked, a little tilted.
Yeah.
So
this incident casts serious doubt on the left's push, because the left has been in control for 3.5 years, for greater government control over more aspects of American life. Greater control. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want to make us safe, protect us from ourselves. It's ridiculous.
Well, and you say 3.5 years, it's even been longer if you count the times that, Congress, that's a big, big, powerful branch of our government, don't you think?
Yeah, Democrats held that before Trump took office.
Yeah.
They held the House.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that Pelosi wasn't the speaker. I know there's been some dips in there. I know, we had a few people that were speaker, but it's just, they seem like they've been controlling the purse strings or executive branch for a long time. So anyway,
if they can't even keep track of how many people are working, how can they be trusted to manage the more intricate details of governance? Look,
right.
Just check this out. They have controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency for 2.5 years now. Wait,
3.5.
no,
years.
eight, no.
Oh, 2.5 years.
Yeah, no, 18 months, like 22.
Oh, yeah.
22
right.
to now.
Right.
They've controlled it. What's happened? Well, so we control the House now. So they had it for a whole year. Right? No. I'm getting all mixed up.
2 years, maybe?
We took the House back in 22.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we've had
maybe it was no, and we had the Senate before
months.
That too. Yeah, so it was mixed.
We'll get back to you on those.
Yeah.
But it's they've been in control one way or the other for a long time.
Yeah. The repercussions of this incompetence are not limited to just numbers on a page. Erroneous job data can lead to misguided economic policies, which in turn can harm American workers and businesses. Yeah. Moreover, such a massive error erodes public trust in government institutions, which are already viewed skeptically by many. If the government can't be trusted with something as straightforward as employment data, why should Americans believe in its ability to manage anything else?
Hear, hear. I agree. So with the Biden-Harris administration weaponizing the DOJ and the IRS agents carrying weapons now, that's crazy, right? Why would they stop there? Most people don't even know what the BLS does. With that said, some would argue that this revision is not a case of bureaucratic bungling, but a deliberate effort to deceive the public.
Flip a coin.
Exactly. Nobody's checking these. There's no checks and balances on this information. It's just thrown out there, and if it sticks, so be it.
Yeah.
Initially reporting inflated job numbers could have been a strategy by the Biden-Harris idiocracy to present a stronger economic recovery than was actually occurred. Which, if you're buying stuff, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
It ain't happened the way.
Let's soften this Bidenomics so it doesn't look as bad.
Yeah. So if this is the case, it wouldn't be the first time a presidential administration has manipulated data to serve its political ends. Welcome to anything it takes politics by the Democrats.
Yeah, that's what they do. Anything it takes.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's people out there that are not willing to verify. They'll just take it, whatever's being said, and believe it.
So, like my brother. Yeah. The timing of this revision is particularly damaging for Vice President Kamala Harris. With the economy being a top concern for voters, this revelation could seriously undermine her credibility and the broader claims of economic recovery under the Biden-Harris idiocracy. If I were President Trump, I'd bring this up whenever it talked about the economy. This is the first thing I would talk about.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio yesterday. He's not talking enough about what his talking points were in 2016, and we're basically in the same boat, right? So he's not plugging the border. He's not plugging the economy, unemployment. It just, he needs to get back on track on that and on point.
Yeah. So with regards to that economic recovery, voters may see this as a failure of the idiocracy to manage the economy effectively, a narrative that the Republican Party will surely exploit. Let's hope they do. The whole party. And
not exploit to this is something that's important, right? This affects everybody, and not red or blue. It affects everybody.
I think that the Republicans are a little bit more honest because of that conservative,
I hope so.
The revision provides a strong argument for conservatives who have long claimed that the idiocracy has been overstating the economic recovery to hide its failures, the Bidenomic failures,
right.
and tie it to Harris. This could energize conservative voters and sway undecided ones, reinforcing the idea that a change in leadership is necessary to get the economy back on track.
Doesn't everybody agree on that point? We all want to spend less for what we're getting and make our
And the
dollars
shrinkflation,
stretch.
we wanted to go back to what it was. I just bought a chocolate croissant, Starbucks this morning. I looked at it, I was like, wow, it's smaller than normal.
Give me the rest of it, right? I paid for the whole
Yeah.
thing. I want the rest of it.
So check this out. So I went to a Starbucks like a week ago down at the not in Target, but the Target Center, and I ordered a chocolate croissant and a very berry, lemonade.
Of course.
Somebody took a bite out of the
Oh, no way.
croissant. I didn't find out till I got home. There was a bite mark, and it was in the front seat, so Cameron couldn't get to it. He was in the car seat.
I was just gonna say, are you sure Cameron?
He didn't get to it.
Oh my gosh!
Took a bite out of it, man.
It was a go back. It was a rejected croissant.
I ate it, man. I ate it. It's a chocolate croissant,
You
man.
didn't care.
I didn't care. But I mean, that's low.
That is low. That's where we've gone to. Can't even get a full croissant at Starbucks. So do not forget that this revision could have major implications for Federal Reserve policies and its monetary policy.
Yeah.
A labor market that is weaker than previously thought could push the Feds towards lowering interest rates to stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that, actually. But, it is what it is, right? Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell hinted at this possibility during his recent remarks at the annual Fed conference in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Powell acknowledged that the labor market's softening and suggested that the Fed might need to adjust its policies to reflect this new reality. A potential interest rate cut would mark a significant shift from the Fed's recent focus on controlling inflation. This move could also be seen as a tacit admission that the economy is not as strong as the administration has claimed.
Yeah.
Further eroding public confidence in the government's economic management. And yeah, I agree with that. I mean, break away. What is the Federal Reserve's job, right? It's to control inflation if you can, right?
Stimulate the economy.
Stimulate the economy. That, if anything, that needs to be done now.
There are a bunch of economists there.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, Chairman Powell, do something, man. Make a move. I don't know. He was the chairman. Was he the chairman under Trump too?
I don't know.
I can't remember that, but
I don't know.
that's usually a job that rolls over, I think. So, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a major wake-up call.
It is.
Major wake-up
It
call.
is. Yep.
Vote them out.
Yeah.
Vote them out, Hans.
Pay attention to who you're voting for.
It has consequences.
It does. It really does.
So speaking of that, look how the Senate, when they had that slim margin, they used this budget trick to pass that the first spending thing, the inflation reduction, because it was going to be voted down, but they used a trick to get it passed.
Yeah, should have been voted down.
Yeah, and Harris was the tiebreaker on that.
She was. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. We got some more interesting subjects this week.
Yeah. Are you better off 4 years ago than you were today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have a great day. Thanks.